The Rock Show.
Now, Shaun Keaveny.
I'm a wanted man. Rock and roll. Excuse me while I'm just this guy.
It's The Rock Show with Shaun Keaveny.
You're unbelievable.
BBC Radio 2.
That was Queen, Modern Times Rock and Roll. Welcome to another Radio 2 Rock Show. I'm Shaun Keaveny.
And I'm Roger Taylor.
Me and Roger are actually here. Roger is going to share a few of his favourite rock tracks, make us a brew, possibly. His new album's announced this week, Violence, Insane and a Beautiful World. It's out on the 18th of September. We'll hear his new single before the end of the show, but strap in because we're going to get into a nice long chat, interspersed with some of Roger's key rock tracks and a sprinkling of Queen. But the first question, Roger, what's the first rock classic that you want us to play?
I think it might be James Hendrix, I think. Yeah.
I can hear the wah-wah guitar underneath us.
Yeah, well, it is a wah-wah. Yeah.
That's him. Voodoo Child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this, more than any other track, probably, it's the most immediately Jimi.
That was Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, chosen by my co-presenter on the Radio 2 Rock Show tonight, Roger Taylor. Did you ever get to see him or meet him or get close to him? Did you see him in concert?
I saw him at the Boston Gliderdrome when I was 16, dressed in a mohair electric blue suit as a mod. And I got rid of that suit after I'd seen him. Went back to my grandmother's, where my life had changed. And that was it. He didn't, they didn't get him, but up there in Lincolnshire, they did not get him. But they probably got him a couple of years later.
So would that have been like in the early days, like 67-ish or something?
Yeah, it was literally just before he released Purple Haze, his second single. And it was just phenomenal. I thought when he started with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And he came around on a circular stage. And I thought, well, where are the other 12 guitarists? Okay. Anyway, there he was, and it was absolutely amazing. Mitch Mitchell on drums was phenomenal. Yeah.
It always amazes me as a failed guitar player that I think that even at his absolute apotheosis of live performance, he was only using a Marshall stack and a Strat and like three pedals or something.
Yeah,
for all that noise.
And a fuzz, and a booster.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so Mitch was is it fair to say he was a big drum influence?
He was a big drum influence on me because he had the rock thing, but he had all these jazz, sort of subtle stuff, fast and really beautiful. Going
back a little bit to your key influences, like for instance, I think I'd be like tens of millions of people. I was radicalised into rock music by my uncles and their record collection, and in particular I remember sitting on the floor with our arms with Queen's Greatest Hits when I was about 9 or 10 or something. So that was one of our gateways. So what about you as little Roger? What kind of a kid were you, and what first got you in to the music?
I mean, obviously, when I heard Rock Around the Clock, it was the only rock record on the BBC at the time, and I only heard it once. But then Elvis sort of forced himself on the world, and his early stuff was fabulous, and Little Richard. And it's sort of, thank God, no more Doris Day. That's what we want, And I've been a rock and roller ever since.
Were you like, sort of a good kid, decent grades, towed the line at school, or what was it like?
No, I didn't toe the line at all. I managed to sort of, out of desperation, really to get to London, I guess. I did manage to scrape my way into university, and out of desperation, though. It was really last minute, panicking before big exams. So... No, I was not a good kid, and I hated school, really. But, I just wanted to be in a band.
Yeah. When did you realise as well that you wanted to be more than just like the drummer at the back? Because, you know, let's be honest, like up to the mid-60s, certainly, that was the role, wasn't it? But when did it start to open up to you that you could do more?
Well, we had a band going since I was about 12 to 18, and we used to do a lot of little gigs in Cornwall, all around Cornwall and bits of Devon, and that was a way of supplementing my income. Well, that's the only income. I had a nice time, and our singer left, and so I sort of, desperate not to lose the work, I took over the singing duties. And I moved my drum kit to the front.
And did you actually? Like Dave Clark?
Yeah, like Dave Clark. But sadly for Dave, I could actually play.
Yeah, he just really did that, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a good smile.
He had a lovely smile, very cheeky Dave.
Yeah.
God, they were huge as well, weren't they?
They were there. But the first two records were really good. And the unsung hero was Mike Smith on the keyboards, who actually sang.
Really?
Yeah, he did all the singing, yeah.
But you're right, it was that kind of... But I suppose for kids who wanted to be drummers, that must have been a bit of a pivotal moment, seeing the drummer at the front.
I guess. I mean, they were huge in America like that. Yeah. Bits and pieces. Good sound.
Pieces.
Yeah.
I think that it's showing off, really, because drumming's multitasking anyway, and then you're multitasking while you're multitasking if you're singing, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, look at Phil Collins. I mean, he did it bloody well, you know. Let's face it, the drummers are the conductors, really, aren't they? You know?
Oh, the heartbeat. Levon Helm, Don Henley. You know, it's all good, isn't it? And fast forwarding to Queen, you know, to have 4 songwriters in the way that it was, and it's kind of almost unprecedented, isn't it? You usually get like a couple of songwriters who do maybe some of the album tracks and filler tracks, and then a songwriter who does most of the hits. Each of you were delivering massive hits. How much of the fuel was collaboration and how much of it was bitter rivalry?
I was never forgiven for having the B-side of Bohemian Rhapsody. But no, you know, I think Freddie was a great writer from the off. Brian was a good writer, and then John and myself came on later in the 80s and assumed sort of major writing roles then. And then Fred, in his wonderful wisdom, had the great idea of saying, look, it doesn't matter who writes it, we all write it, you know. And so it was all, just said Queen, written by Queen. And that was great because every track that we did, we all put our sixpence in, you know. And it really was, after the initial writing, I guess, it was then very much a group thing. Yeah.
Was that quite a healing thing in a sense? Did that put away a lot of the tension, I suppose, when that happens? It becomes a more deliberate collaboration then, doesn't it?
Exactly right, yeah. And it also, it took the egos out of it, and it took all the nasty bits out of it, yeah. He was a wise man, old Freddie. You know?
Did you ever have to say to somebody like Fred, I don't think that bit works?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's part of it, I suppose.
And Brian and I had a lot of rucks, you know, about, shouldn't go that too complicated, you know, whatever. You know.
That's where all the great stuff happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to play a bit of Queen now. What do you think?
Oh, Tenement Fun stuff, probably.
Yeah.
Better song.
Tenement Fun's there from Sheer Heart Attack by Queen, the preferred choice of my co-presenter on The Rock Show tonight, Roger Taylor.
It is. It's on our 3rd album. One of my favourite albums, actually, Sheer Heart Attack. You know, we sort of really got into the business of the studio, and we'd probably simplified a bit after the 2nd album, which went a bit crazy. And I think as an album it worked really well.
I love your playful lyrics as well. You've always there's always been a good element of tongue in cheek with the sort of lyrics that you write. Sometimes very polemical as well, which I also like. You know, you tell it like it. You know, you can be quite political when you want to be, but then you could be quite funny as well. I think, which is quite a nice thing in rock.
Well, it is a nice thing if it works. Yeah. And yes, I suppose I have been that way, really. I believe in the truth, as John Lennon said. Give me some
truth.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, your next choice is a bit of Beatles, right? So here it is. This is Money by the Beatles. There you go, the Beatles and Money, chosen by my guest, Roger Taylor. Why do you think they're still, after nearly 65 years, why are they still the main cultural rock and roll event in our lives?
Well, it's funny, it took me a while to really love them. And when I first heard them do Twist and Shout, And John's voice, just that is what I liked, and I thought they were a bit lightweight up till then, and then you realise that they weren't just that. And then on the next album, they did Money, which is another cover, but with John's incredible voice. But then, of course, after that, over the years, with Rubber Soul, Revolver, etc., onwards, they became unbeatable. They were just eclectic, brilliant, genius, timeless tunes, great stuff.
And then I suppose was it strange because you end up becoming contemporaries, really. So you know when you were a kid, they come out,
yeah,
and it's Twist and Shout and stuff, and you're a kid yourself. You could get to the 70s, you're having huge hits. They've split up, but
yeah.
Did you?
Good for that.
No, yeah. But you're right, though, isn't it? I bet everybody was thinking that. At least we've all got a chance now. I just wonder what it must have been like, because there were times when McCartney and Lennon in particular that were struggling, weren't they? They were struggling to find their feet, in a sense, and some of the albums are a bit hit and miss. Did you ever cross paths in those times, or? Well,
I met them all. I never met John, and we were absolutely distraught when he was sadly killed. We were in the middle of a run in Wembley Arena, I think, and we did a terrible version of Imagine that night, as that we didn't really know it, But,
we just wanted to do something to market.
Had to do something. We struggled through that. Yeah,
but that must even. I sort of remember that. It's one of those just absolutely seismic cultural moments, isn't it?
It really was. It really was for us. Yeah.
And you do a lovely version of "Jealous Guy" on the new record as well.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that came after. I was on Jules Holland. I was just talking, and he suggested, "Will you sing a song?" I just thought of that one off the top of my head. But I've always thought it's one of the nicest ballads that I've ever known. So I found it more affecting than most ballads, which are saccharine, and that's not. It's because it's got all his acerbic, edge to it.
It's true, isn't it? Because there are quite a few mea culpa love songs in the canon, aren't there? I'm sorry I cheated on you with so many women, but in a way it's the other way around with that, isn't it? It's like he's the vulnerable one.
Absolutely,
and that's what's nice about it, I think.
Yeah, so affecting.
With the Beatles, obviously, there's almost like a sibling nature to Paul, John and George. They almost sound like the Beach Boys, like a family, which is kind of crazy, really. And then you're the ultimate choral band, Queen, let's face facts. I mean, I think even before Freddie arrived, you'd already started that sound, hadn't you, with Smile?
With Smile, Brian and myself, and a guy called Tim. We liked that, but we wanted to keep the rock and roll sensibility as well as having the harmonies. But
it's amazing. It's like if you can put Black Sabbath and the Beach Boys together, what would happen? It's like, right, okay.
Probably be a fight, wouldn't it?
To the bar, most certainly.
Yeah.
Can't talk to you without mentioning the song Under Pressure, because I've even been in a band that's covered it quite in a quite bad way, really. I don't think we did it full justice. Mostly my fault. But I always wonder, what is it about that song that makes it unusual or difficult to just drunkenly sing along to? And it's because it's like 3 lead vocals, isn't it? It's Freddie and it's you, really, and it's David.
Yeah. Well, I'm really in there only at the end. It's all Freddie and David up to the end section, which I think I love that section, which David wrote. We sort of finished in New York with them. Yeah.
Let's listen to those 3 voices blend seamlessly together. Here it is. This is Under Pressure. Under Pressure by Queen on the Radio 2 Rock Show with me, Shaun Keaveny, and my co-presenter tonight, Roger Taylor. I mean, it's just the most unusual, massive hit I can think of.
It's one of my favourites, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
I recently watched there's a lovely clip of you playing it with the Foo Fighters with Taylor. It's just partly hilarious as usual. It's like a sort of comedy sketch.
Yes.
And then you're on drums and you're all. It's just really beautiful to watch, actually.
Yeah, I love that Taylor, and in fact, he's my son's godfather. My son has based his whole a style on Taylor's, not mine. And he's the drummer with the Darkness, who are fantastic live.
They're incredible live. I saw them again. I saw them back in the day, and then I think I saw them on. I think they were on Jules Holland recently again. It's just like
they've got a great drummer now.
They've got a really amazing drummer, I must say, young Rufus. So that's interesting, isn't it? That I was going to ask you about Taylor, obviously, but he was almost like a Roger Taylor completist. I've found somewhere on the internet, you know, sometimes you have these sort of preserved pages on the internet from the start of the century, the millennium, and there's this ancient one from a Foo Fighters blog or something, and it's just a whole Taylor page, and it's really detailed about all the favourite Roger Taylor things and why Brighton Rock's so great, and what, you know, the different feels, and it's just very, very sweet. Did he kind of? Do you think he kind of sought you out to sort of be his mentor in a way?
Kind of, I guess, without sounding.
So going to be a daft thing.
Yeah, but we became like brothers. Really, he was such a lovely guy, and my son is still in touch with the family a lot. You know, we miss him.
Yeah.
Really miss him, and I think so do the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. I think everybody misses Taylor. I met him once briefly, and he was just such a. We ended up spending 10 minutes talking about the Level 42, and about how much he just loved. He was a fanboy of Mark from Level 42, and just wanted to talk about. He always just wanted to effuse about people, didn't he?
Absolutely right. He was so positive.
Yeah. One of the tracks that you wanted to play was a Foo's track, wasn't it? You wanted to play Monkey Ranch.
Yeah, it was. I used to go and see them when they first came over, when they were playing small gigs, and we loved them. And I went up to Leeds to see them play in some quite small theatre. And then every time they came to London, we'd always get together, you know, and and they got bigger and bigger and bigger, and that was very gratifying to see.
Let's play one of those early Foo Fighters hits. The fabulous Foo Fighters with Monkey Wrench there. We're going to move on to one of my favourite bands of all time, actually. You've chosen Led Zeppelin. Anybody who even vaguely has any knowledge about me knows that Led Zeppelin are my favourite band. Or certainly my top three. You know, it always moves, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It moves around. Yeah. But I guess they came out just a bit before you guys got big, didn't they?
A bit, yeah.
Were you like a fanboy first, and then how did it work? Or
well, I remember buying their first album and hearing the drums on the first track, and I thought, hang on a minute, you can't do that. It's not possible. But it was. He was phenomenal. And then Freddie and I went to see them just after the first album, and they'd recorded Led Zeppelin 2, and they did things like Ramble On and A Whole Lot of Love and the Lyceum in the Strand, and they blew us away. They were incredible. Yeah.
Again, it's that kind of light and shade thing that you do very
dynamics,
well, isn't it?
Yeah, dynamics. Boy, they had the dynamics. It was sensational.
And you're talking about the rabbit foot of John Bonham, aren't you? Really, that's just completely how the heck does anybody do that?
Yeah,
can't imagine what that must have been like in 1968. Really.
Yeah, well, many have tried and nobody's really succeeded. yeah.
Did you get to hang out with him or at all, or sort of get
I
to
only
tell
met
him?
John once. I met him once after a show in LA in a hotel. I think they were having a party, and then he punched a journalist, and then I thought, that's what I call a drummer,
That's it. That's the end of that night. It's a very John story, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. God, he was good.
But why? Again, he's another one. You as a drummer, what do you feel that it is about him that makes him sort of so monumental in the firmament of rock music?
Well, his effortless power, speed, and technique. I mean, he was and his sound. The sound was tremendous. He had a great big bass drum, Ludwig bass drum, and didn't sound like anybody else's. Sound better than anybody else's, and all those things. Yeah.
Do you think you've got a signature drum thing that makes it immediately? I mean, I do, but I just wonder what you thought about your own sound and your own technique that makes it just you.
I think there's a thing, I don't know, with the hi-hat. I open and close it very fast when you hit the snare to make it louder.
That's exactly what I wrote down.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, psst.
Yeah,
That.
it makes it louder. And it's a thing I found I was doing, didn't even know I was doing it, so until I think Chad from the Chili Peppers told me.
You can hear you in him a bit as well, because he does a lot of that.
Yeah, he's a great drummer too.
That was Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, another great choice by my guest stroke co-presenter tonight, Roger Taylor. You've done a lot of solo stuff over the years, obviously.
Yeah.
And, like in The Cross, you were the front man for a start, and you've worked with some amazing people. Like I was just listening to, because obviously to be in a band with Brian May, one of the most iconic guitarists of all time, is that in itself's a fantastic thing. But you play with people like Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
There's a great track called "Say It Ain't True" that you and Jeff do.
Yeah.
Which is so lovely.
Yeah.
And I just want so there's all this great music out there, but I just want to ask you about the new one, "Violence Insane in a Beautiful World." Why the title for a start?
Well, it's fairly self-explanatory. It's a beautiful world, and I sort of go through all the things that are beautiful about it, or some of them. And but there's just all this. It's terrible at the moment. What a time it is in the world. I can't remember it in my lifetime ever being really this bad. There's so much death, unnecessary wars, horrible leanings to the right everywhere. Yeah, so.
I think it's great that you talk about it, because I think that a lot of artists could tend to sort of not do or shy away from it, or think that maybe they can't.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that in Queen because we were sort of people's band, but I think as a single person, you can have an opinion, and you've got this wonderful platform from which to express some of the things. I mean, if you don't think, you're kind of dead, aren't you? Yeah.
It's refreshing to see it. And you pretty much do most things on this record, don't you? You sort of more or less produced it and played most of the bits on it.
Yeah, I have my co-producer Josh McRae, and I had a couple of things. Neil Fairclough's on bass on one track, just the odd thing, and Tina Keys, the lovely Tina, is on piano on Jealous Guy. And I have this wonderful choir. Yeah, there's this wonderful choir from South Africa, Limpopo, who sing in Zulu and English, the Ndlovu choir. They've made a video of Bohemian Rhapsody in the most incredible costumes, and they do it in Zulu.
Wow.
And it sort of blew me away, and my wife suggested, hey, you should get them on your record, they're really good. And they're fabulous, and so they're on 3 of the tracks on the album. And I'm thrilled. They really brought a joy to the tracks,
It's really brilliant. It's a gorgeous sound, actually. You're right, it is a joyful sound, and we'll play the single now, actually, Come On Summer, which is it's a fair old tear-up, actually. It's what I love about it is it's, you might have a preconception sometimes of what a rock musician who's been doing this job for a long time might come out with, but this isn't it. It's completely left field of what you would expect. It's kind of dancey. There's almost a samba vibe to it or something,
yeah.
But then you've got the choir that comes in.
Yeah.
Reminds me a bit of Yellow or somebody as well, that sort of
I know.
fun electro sort of.
I just wanted a sort of joyous feel, really, that day.
Yeah, that day is what you wanted.
Yeah, I was miserable the next day.
Let's have a listen to it, the single from the new album. This is called Come On Summer, It's Party Time.
This is The Rock Show with Shaun Keaveny.
That was the new single from Violence Insane in a Beautiful World. That was Come On Summer, It's Party Time. And the fact that you've got Neil Fairclough playing on the record is great because my old mate Leon, another great drummer, he's not had as many hits as you, used to go to music college with Neil. And we knew he was a genius when I was 18. So thank God he's working with you is all I can say.
Yeah, Neil's lovely man, good singer.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Roger, you are going to go on tour with a band to play this new music.
Yes, I'm going to only 6 dates.
Okay.
I want to sort of
a mini tour.
mini tourette.
Tourette.
So, yeah, I've got the same band as I had on the last Outsider tour, who are a great band. And I think it, should be fun. If I can get the choir to come along, it'd be wonderful as well.
Oh, God, yeah, to get those down for a date. That would be absolutely wonderful.
It really would be good.
And do you think, it's an obligatory question that everybody must ask, would you guys get back on the road or do another date as Queen at some point, do you think? Or do you just think it'd be too much of a machine to get back together?
Well, it is a big machine to gear up, if you know what I mean. But yeah, really, I think it's more down to Brian than me. I love playing live. I enjoy it, always have. It's really how he feels about it. So if we both want to do it, I'd be happy to. But we'll see.
We never say never.
Yeah, never say never. Have been working for a while with the Adam Lambert, who has the most incredible voice. Yeah.
I took my my middle boy to watch you at the O2 about 4 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was kind of exhausting, actually, because it started. I can't remember what song you started with. It was one of the big ones, right? And I was thinking, well, okay, well, the way this works is that there's a bit of ebb and flow, and then there's maybe a sort of an album track that you don't know as well. And no, it's 2.5 hours of being punched in the face by the biggest tunes you've ever heard, played by one of the best bands ever. So, and then
that's very kind.
It was just ridiculous.
Oh, good.
We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. It's a great new record. Just seek it out when you get the chance. And also, I just wanted to mention the cover as well, because it's if you can describe the cover for our listeners and why it came about.
Well, it's the kind of title track. It's a Beautiful World, and it's the point of view of an alien in a spacecraft. Don't laugh. And he's just sort of come around. He's having a look at the world. Really, he's saying, "What a beautiful world! No, blimey, it's plenty of chances for an abundance of life here." And oh dear, there seems to be a bit of a problem. There's a bit of infection, which is sort of all the troubles that are going on.
And I think is it the Artemis 2. It's one of those. It's one of those very high resolution, beautiful photographs of the Earth.
Yeah, I don't think it's the actual picture. We actually put that together before Artemis 2, and so it was quite freaky when that came out, and it's virtually the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I just wondered if somebody like yourself ever in a quiet moment. Maybe you're having a little look on the internet and you see these photographs of of Earth. Do you ever look at it and think, nearly everybody on that planet has heard my records? Because that's what I'd be thinking. I'd be thinking nearly everybody in that shop knows We Will Rock You. Or Radio Gaga. I wondered if it ever crossed your mind. You probably
it's hilarious.
Wouldn't be as conceited as me, you see.
Well, I've got to admit, that has never occurred to me. No.
I'll have a think next time.
I will. Next time I'm in a spaceship, I will.
It's just such a great pleasure to have you here co-presenting the Rock Show with me, Roger. And we can't wait. It's an open door invitation anytime you pass in.
Thanks, John. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
it's been fantastic, Roger Taylor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the album Violence, Insane and a Beautiful World is out on the 18th of September, and Roger's going to be out on tour, as he said, in September. 21st, Newcastle, O2 City Hall. 22nd, Edinburgh Usher Hall. 24th, Birmingham, the Alexandra. The 25th, Manchester Opera House. 28th, London Roundhouse. And the 29th, Swansea Building Society Arena. Thanks to Liz, Paul and Roger Taylor. Romesh is up next. I'll be back tomorrow 6 till 8 p.m. and on Sounds of the 70s on Sunday from 3 p.m.